Welcome everyone to this episode of the Nerd Team. My guest today is the lovely debut author and BookTok OG, Cait Jacobs. Hello!
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. This has been like a long time planning, so I'm so glad that we're finally getting to chat.
Same. Oh my gosh, same.
I mean, I've known of you for quite a while because you are obviously very involved in Book Talk and Bookstagram and everything. And we met at the Y'all Fest at a little
Yes.
influencer party. That was my first one, by the way. Um, yeah, I was a little OG. Everyone knew each other, and I was like,
Oh.
I'm here too. Um, but yeah, I've heard about you. I've known about you for a very, very long time. So it's wonderful to now see you as an author.
It's definitely been an interesting ride. It's so exciting, so fun. It's so weird being here. I'm very used to being like in your position with
Yeah,
this. So I'm just like, this is so strange.
yeah. How does it feel? Like, do you feel yourself like? Do you feel yourself kind of like going into the role really quickly, or does it feel like, oh, I don't know what to do here?
It's a mix. So like I was I had some lead time to prepare myself a bit because I actually sold my book in 2022, so long before we announced it. So I had some time to mentally prepare. So you would think that would be all set for this switch. I wasn't. Um, I tried so hard to be like, all right, let's start pivoting my accounts a little bit more to be more author focused and like let's be prepared for what it'll be like to be the author as opposed to the reader in this situation. And I thought I was prepared. I thought I was all ready for it. And then the moment my like book announcement went public, I was like, oh god, this is so weird.
Yeah, it must. I think about that because it must be like I'm an aspiring author as well, so it must be so weird to be like, wait, hold on, now like y'all talking about me? Like I don't know,
it's
like
it's so weird. Like I'll like be in like the like groups that like I'll be in for book stuff, and then all of a sudden I'll see like mentions of my book, and I'm like, okay, this is my sign to leave. I'm done. And it's
oh
so
yeah,
bizarre. It's
that is
so
bizarre.
yeah. It was a very strange transition and amazing in so many ways, but definitely very strange. And you keep thinking that you're ready for it, and you're so excited to publish your book, but it's also like, oh wow, things are different now.
And do any of the people that you like talk to as like book content creators, are they the like any of them got the arcs or anything? So like, do you ever see them talking about it now?
Yes. Yeah, so I actually tried to make sure a few people that I know that I love their content so much. I tried to make sure they would get arcs. But then I do have a rule that if I'm like scrolling my feed, I'll see their content and I'll be so excited because I love their stuff. But then if I see my book, I'm like, oh, immediate scroll. I do not.
Yeah.
I want to give them their space to talk about it however they want to talk about it. So I have learned to scroll very quickly. But it is so weird. But it's also like so exciting because sometimes I'll be like, oh my gosh, they mentioned my book. I don't know what they said. Don't need to know, but they mentioned it.
That is, yeah, I feel I've talked to other debut authors, and one thing that they all talk about is is like learning how to scroll away or like
Yes.
not go and try to read the reviews and like and how terrifying that is.
Yeah, I got Goodreads Author Shield on my computer. I have it blocked on my phone. So Goodreads Author Shield, in case anyone doesn't know, is basically a like Chrome extension that makes it so you can't view any negative reviews of any books on Goodreads. But
Yeah.
I mostly have it for my book. I also like can't see the overall rating. It'll still show the 5-star reviews. I've learned that on accident, and I still try to avoid those though because it's kind of a funny thing for me where if I'm not in the right headspace, I don't want to see any review. Like, I do not want to be perceived. I write to write, and I hope it makes a difference, and I hope people like it. But if I think too much about the fact that other people will read it, it'll throw me off.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild. I didn't know that they had that. That's a good thing.
It's
That's
amazing.
'cause I do feel even now that you say it, like maybe even the positive ones will be like, does that mean if I don't do that, like then they won't like it? Like I get that.
Yeah, no, it'll get in my head. Or, like, they'll, like, say something they liked, and I'm just like, do I have to, like, do that with every book now? And, like, I'll be like, oh, should I, like, keep doing that? I'm just like, but I wanted to do this other thing in, like, another book, and I'm just like,
That's
it's
not. Yeah.
I'll if I get tagged in 5-star reviews or like really 4-star 5-star reviews I've been tagged in, I'll look at them when I'm in the right headspace, when I'm like ready because they tagged me and I know how much work it goes into reviewing a book, and I want to
Yeah.
thank them and appreciate it, but I wait till I'm in the right headspace.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, let's now talk about this book. We were like talking around it, but let's talk about it. Can you tell everyone about your debut?
So
You have
yes.
the gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, and yeah, I have the Lost Library
Oh
sprayed
my
edge
god.
edition with me. I have my little collection here.
Oh, nice,
This is the
nice.
UK arc as well.
Oh,
But yeah,
cute.
so The Princess Knight is my debut medieval fantasy about a princess who is trying to win back the prince who ruined their betrothal plans. Her kingdom is really relying on this marriage. So when he says that she's not strong enough to be his queen, she has to prove him wrong. And she does that by basically going to Knight College. She goes to this medieval military academy, and there she meets his guard and best friend, Ronan. And Ronan is there to try to prove himself and win the approval of this legendary general that saved his life. And Clea and Ronan spend some time together. There's, some late night training sessions, and they end up closer than they probably should. And they also discover threats to both of their kingdoms that will put their skills and their hearts to the ultimate test.
There you go. That was good. That was like a very.
That is like pretty much just the blurb and parts of it that I just memorized.
I was gonna say like that was actually very like nice. Like you would think that you were like reading it. That was good. That was good stuff. All right, let's get more into it. I thought it was such a joy to read because there is, there's threats, there's like this that is happening, but also I felt like it was very light as well,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was like a fun book to read where like, yes, you had the stakes, but you were also like so many times you were like, oh, like you know what I mean?
No, yeah, when I was writing it, fun is the exact word that I think was like my goal when writing. I wanted it to be a fun time. I wanted it to have, there could be dark moments, there could be sad moments, some angst and whatnot, and like some heavier themes, but fun is overall the goal with it.
Yes, yes, I absolutely felt it, and it gave me great, like, in the best way, Legally Blonde vibes, in
Yes.
like the absolute best way.
Listen, I love my rom-coms. We gotta bring like that 2000s rom-com era back.
I agree. No, like my favorite thing is like the rom coms with I just love like something where you kind of like look forward to knowing the full story in the end, and you're
Mm-hmm.
more like looking forward to see how like relationships blossom rather than like a will it even happen type thing. Like
Yeah.
kind of nice. So let's talk about your main characters because you write in dual POVs.
Yes.
Let's first start off with our protagonist, who we've already talked about their pronunciations. Her nickname is Clea, but you can go ahead and say the whole name.
So her name is Cleana Fanon. And I will say with Cleana too that with the full name there is an alternate pronunciation that is just as correct as Cleana. I say Cleana, but you can also say Cleena. I know that that's easier for some people, but yeah, her nickname is Clea. And yes, I love her, my sweet poor little girl.
But like resilient in the best way.
So she's so resilient. She's so stubborn, honestly.
Yeah.
She's incredibly stubborn, and I admire that so much about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She can be a little naive at times. She's very feminine and finds her strength in that. And she's also very stubborn, little petty at times.
Yes. Yes. But you know what? Much deserved to the other people who she
Yeah,
can petty too.
exactly. And I think she deserves a petty moment.
Yeah. Like actually, like no, like they're justified.
Let her have it. Yeah.
Exactly. I absolutely, one of the things that I really liked about your character was that she was, like you said, like she was very fashion girly. Like
Mhm.
she wanted to look pretty. Like she's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna like fight for our lives, but like you won't catch me looking bad at
Yeah.
looking bad. Like
I
no,
can look hot while I also kill people.
yeah, like it doesn't have to be exclusive, mutually exclusive
Mhm.
or whatever. And so she's like girly, makeup, dresses, jewel, but then she's also like learns to be strong and strategic, and and so I really like that you didn't have her be somebody who was like one or the other. I
Mm-hmm.
like that she was both. And how I want to know like what that was for you, like why you wrote a character that way.
Yeah, I think honestly, when I was first coming up with the idea for the book, that was something that was very important to me from the beginning when I was figuring out who Talia was as a character. It's she's like other girls, and she's still like a badass and awesome. Once she learns, she has to go on a journey, she has to grow, and she has to get to that point by her own merit, but she puts in the work, and she's still wanting to wear a pretty pink dress, and she wants to make sure her hair is looking nice while they're going on a multi-day long ride on horseback.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's so fun to see that in fantasy. I think it's something that we can go through periods where we'll see that a bit, and then we'll go through not like other girls phases.
Yeah.
And this is kind of my way of being like, no, let's be like, it's okay to be like other girls. You can also be not like other girls. They're characters. I'm thinking in my brain of Neve in this book, who
Yes.
is a little bit not like other girls, but like, you can be both, and both are valid, and that's totally fine. And that was kind of what I wanted to do with Leah. And I had so much fun writing her as a character.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, did you have to research a lot of like the fashion materials? Because she knows her material, she knows like her stuff.
I definitely did some research. It's so funny to me, I am a bit of a fashion nerd, even though
Okay.
I would say that very loosely, because I'm a fashion nerd in the sense that I never cared about fashion as a kid and in high school. And I think it was because I'm autistic and I didn't understand. And
Mhm.
I fundamentally didn't understand things. So I rejected it because of that. And then as I was going to college and I was starting to figure out myself more, and I really, really grew into a love of specific areas of fashion, and that grew into a love of overall fashion. And I got to discuss that so much in this book, and it was
Yeah.
so fun for me. But I definitely did have to do research sometimes, because while I enjoy fashion and I've always wanted to sew, I don't know how to sew. I've just watched a lot of videos on YouTube. So I wanted to make sure that I was still including nods to things correctly.
Same. When I think of sewing, I'm like, yeah, and a needle and the thread.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And maybe fabric?
Yeah, I think fabric is included somewhere, but I'm
It
not
might be.
sure. I think. Like
The
I
sad
would.
thing is, I got myself a sewing machine years ago, and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to sew. The machine broke after like 2 weeks, and I never
Oh.
fixed it. And it's not until this past summer that I finally bought the replacement parts, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I've been wanting to learn how to sew for forever.
You should.
Um,
I love the idea of sewing because I know, and we're both the same in this regard. We go to like Renfest and we like
yeah.
love to wear like the corsets and the
Yeah.
thing. And I always love. I have one of my close friends who goes with me to all these events. She makes a lot of her own stuff. She also makes me stuff, mind you, but she makes
Nice.
a lot of her own stuff. I know. I get her. She's that person who like makes something and she's like, "This is terrible," but like you want it, like it was my first try, and I'm like, this is a perfect corset, thanks. Okay. Like,
Can I be her friend too?
literally, and she's like, oh, I don't know, like I'm just trying it out, and I'm like, okay. Like let me just have it. But yes, but once I realized that you had to do some sort of math.
Oh, see, but I'm a math nerd. That's where I'm like, that's
You
where I'm
are.
in. For me, my
Okay.
issue is like the art and like cutting things in a straight line.
Okay.
That's where I mess up. But doing the math, that's my favorite part.
That's what terrifies me. I literally was so ready to be like some, and then I was like, oh, you have to like measure.
It's a lot of
No.
work.
Yeah.
Especially too, just like we were talking about, like with Red Bear, I love historical fashion so much, and
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons I wanted to learn how to sew. And also a big thing that led to this book was I love historical fashion, and that's like
Yeah.
the area that I'm most obsessed with. And historical fashion's very expensive, so I wanted to be able to sew my own. And I this summer was trying to tell myself like I'll sew a medieval dress and I'll wear it to the book launch, and
Yeah.
I'll do this all on my own despite never having sewn a garment before. It didn't happen. It didn't work out.
Oh no. Well, I mean, your book technically, I mean, when people are seeing this, it's out. But like you and I speaking right now, it's technically not out yet. You have
There's
time.
time.
You
There's
can
time.
do it. Maybe not like a whole gown. Maybe
Maybe
like a
something.
yeah. Maybe like a little, I don't know,
We'll
bustier or
see.
something. like
We'll
that.
see. By the time everyone who's listening to this in the future, you'll have to let me know if I actually follow through with this.
Did she do it?
Please ask me, and we'll see. At least like something. I have to like sow a
Something.
little something in honor of Clea.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't I would love to tell you what's simple, but I simply do not know. So like whatever is simple, that's the one.
My friend, like my friend sews, and she always is like, "Oh, like you can make circle skirts. Circle skirts are so easy," and I'm just like, that's assuming again I can cut in a curved line. Like I can't do a straight
Yeah.
line. You think I can do a curve? But
But at least you can measure.
yeah,
I yeah,
so
that's important.
maybe I'll try a circle skirt or something.
Yeah. That'd be cute and like pink, like a cute
Oh
little
yeah,
pink.
has to
Yeah,
be pink.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I love how you brought that into the character because even when she was just talking about it, she was talking about the joy of it. She was talking about how difficult it was. And so I really like, and I also love how it was like a hyper fixation for her.
Yes.
I caught
Yeah,
that.
I'm so glad you did. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. The precious little Clea, that is 100% her special interest is sewing. She hyperfixates a lot on just sewing and fashion. It's, yeah.
I love that. And it definitely, yes, like I said before, it gave me like little legally blonde fashion fighter, like underestimated vibes, like very much
Mm-hmm.
underestimated.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really enjoyed that about her. And I would love to know from you what you think her arc is. Without
So,
spoilers. But like,
I think Clea's journey, I like to joke that she people pleases her way into military academy. I think her journey, though, has a lot to deal with kind of a people pleasing nature and wanting to be something else for anyone else. And she has to kind of learn to accept herself and to whatever that is, whatever her interests are, whatever her hobbies are, whatever her strengths and weaknesses are. She has to learn to accept that. And then if she can't accept it, why is she wanting to change it? Is she wanting to change it for herself or for someone else? And that I think is her biggest journey over the course of the book.
I think it's a very relatable one.
Yeah.
Because first of all, how many of us haven't done something really stupid for a man?
Everyone has a story.
Everyone has a story that you look back, you're like,
Forget
you're like,
even like
why?
men, like even for me with women, like
Yeah, just like for
oh my
like a
god.
crush, you're like, why?
It's just
Like
yeah, the things that you will do.
the things that you will do. So I thought it was like a fun journey to be inside her head and to hear that sort of like switch in her brain kind of happen very
Mm-hmm.
gradually, where things become like, and this person will love that to like, will I love that? Like, will I
Yeah.
like that? So I really enjoyed that arc. But she's not the only one who has little pleasing tendencies over here.
Definitely not.
Because let's talk about our love interest.
Ronan, yes. Another people pleaser, but like, same issue, different font. Um,
Yes, yes.
he also has people that he really wants their approval of, but he goes about it very differently than Clea. I mean, to be fair though, very differently, they end up in the same place.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess I can't say too differently, but he really, really wants the approval of this general that he barely knows. All because that general saved his life when he was younger. And Ronan has to go through a similar journey of understanding who you owe your loyalty to and who you should be working that hard for. And then on Ronan, we have an additional level. With Clea, she has. I wrote her to be autistic, and so a lot of her journey, like we talked about with hyperfixation special interest, a lot of her people pleasing tendencies come from masking. With Ronan, he is also disabled and he has chronic pain, and a lot of his journey is not only about him wanting this general's approval, but also his own approval in a way. I
Mhm.
think this is something that I know I've struggled with myself, and I know a lot of other chronically ill people struggle with, is the sense of feeling like you're not good enough because of your body's limitations and refusing to accept those sometimes and pushing yourself beyond what you should and what your body can handle and hurting yourself because of it. And a big part of Ronan's journey relates to that.
I felt his frustration a lot about like how he constantly felt betrayed by his own body.
Yes, that is, it's a very constant thing for him. And it was funny because when I was writing his part of the story, his point of view came later. I wrote the entire book from Clea's point of view at first. And it wasn't until I believe my second draft, which was really like what I really consider my first draft, but technically the second one,
Yeah.
that I introduced his point of view. And it was when I was writing that I was dealing with chronic pain for the first time myself. And I won't lie, his point of view was therapy for me. I was dealing with my own frustrations, and I was having, my therapist and my family, my friends telling me these things, and like, all this stuff about being kind to yourself and being understanding and trying not to put yourself, but it's one thing to hear it and one thing to actually live it. And Ronan hasn't even heard it. So he's just comparing himself to everyone
Yeah.
else, and it feels like a betrayal when your own body isn't letting you do the things that you want to do, that you maybe knew in the past you
Yeah.
could do. So it was very important to me to write that, and it was also, again, very therapeutic, very,
Yeah.
very, I don't want to say fun to write, but kind of.
There was definitely like that feeling. I don't have any chronic like illness or pain, but I felt it a lot with him. Like it was very easy for me to get inside his head and just feel, yeah, like that whole own frustration, especially because he's very good at what he does, but he's just in pain all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like I understood that, like that back and forth of like, but I'm good at it, but like should I, but like,
Mm-hmm.
and so you did a really good job about like
Thank you.
putting somebody who has not gone through that like inside his head and like
Oh,
feeling that.
I'm so glad, because I feel like, it's especially in fantasy, I often feel like when it comes to physical disabilities, we don't see them very often. It's getting
Yeah.
so much better. The genre is getting so much better at showing it, especially in main characters. But so it especially means a lot to know that people who haven't gone through similar experiences can understand and can read it and empathize with the character. It's always something that I worried about, but in the end, I stuck with writing him how I wanted to write him, true to my experience, because even if people who weren't disabled couldn't relate, then the people who were disabled would, and I wrote it for them, but it means a lot to know that people who haven't gone through it can still relate.
Yeah, I think I did sports growing up and I have my injuries, but at least I kind of like know where the pain comes from, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can very much point to a time where it was like there was before and then there was
Mm-hmm.
after. There's
Yeah.
no like, why is my body doing this? It's like, no, no, I know what did it. Like I know.
Yeah, I think it's like this whole other battle when you like don't know. I've been going through
Yeah.
myself as I've been trying to figure out what's going on with my own body, and I have been dealing with these symptoms for nearly 4 years now, and we've narrowed it down. We have an idea, but we still don't know. And it's so
Yeah.
weird to be like, my body's betraying me. All this stuff is happening that I don't understand, and I can't do these things, and I don't know why. I don't know what flipped the switch, what happened, and I don't know.
Mhm.
You never know, like, for sure what makes it better, what makes it worse, and that's something that Ronan had to, like, learn through experience. And you see him as he's been dealing with this pain for a while, so he's kind of figured it out, but he still doesn't know why it's happening or what's going on fully.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was I enjoyed reading that aspect. I was like, oh, like at
Thank
first I
you.
was like, oh, I wonder what happened, and then it took me a while. I was like, oh, I understand. Like
Yep,
it's like
it
I
just
get it now.
is.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, okay. One thing that I love about these two characters is that I mean, there's a bit of stubbornness, a little bit of like we can't, we shouldn't, that we cannot,
Mm,
but ultimately it's also very sweet and like
it
healthy.
is.
A lot of
Yes.
healthy communication.
Thank you. That I really wanted that to that was an important thing for me when writing it. Yeah, they're just it's you have like friends to lovers. This is more strangers to friends to lovers. But I wanted it to be
Yeah,
a healthy, comfortable, like their relationship I want to be a source of comfort for them. Like there is some angst because, there's a lot of reasons why they can't be together and why things aren't working out. Um but in the end, it's not because of who they are as people, and it's not because they don't like
yeah,
each other, or there's any conflicts, or a lack of respect, or anything like that, or a lack of communication. There's like, there's some points where maybe they don't communicate perfectly, but they still try. They try really hard,
Yeah.
and they're just put through a lot.
Yeah, I mean they're people. People,
Yeah,
people are people. You're not perfect
exactly.
at communicating all the time, but overall it was nice that like they very much communicated their feelings. They communicated why they can or cannot do something, and so it was
Mm.
it was a very refreshing read also.
Yeah, it's good to have an open dialogue.
Yes, yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my morally gray
Oh my
angst,
god.
but sometimes it's nice to be like, hell.
Listen, I know a lot of people don't like the miscommunication trope, but sometimes I actually really enjoy it. So, like,
I think it just depends. Like, it depends on like, have you established your character as somebody who just like sucks at communicating? In which case, it makes sense that there's some
yeah,
miscommunication trope.
they need
But
to go
when
through
you're
some
just like,
character development.
yeah, but when you're doing like the whole, talking about the old rom coms, when they would be like by the door and they'd be like, and she's so stubborn and blah blah, and then she runs away crying, but I love her. I can't. That I
Yeah,
can't.
no, the very avoidable, like, my rule with miscommunication trope is it can't be solved by one conversation. If they have
Right.
one conversation, then that's unnecessary. And like one conversation would fix everything, that's unnecessary. It needs to be like
Yeah.
slower character growth, maybe multiple conversations. That's the acceptable, like talking also from the point of view of a reader. That's like the miscommunication trope that I enjoy.
Same. Same. Because like you said, there's like an arc to it. There's like a
Yeah.
reason. There's growth. Not just like no. That's not. Um But also, I want to go back to the fact that both of these characters have, you wrote Clea is like having autism. English is not my first language. And then Ronan is having chronic illness. But they're not the only ones that you had a lot of like representation for. So, can we just very briefly go over some of your other characters and some of the other ways that you had multitude of representations?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me is that it takes place in a queer normative world where my joke with like the main cast is everyone is queer until proven straight. I never want there to be like a huge conversation about what someone's sexuality is and what that means. So within the cast, we have characters, Clea and Ronan are both bi. We have a character who is on the ace spectrum. I personally view her as demisexual. Then we have pan characters. We have non-binary characters. We have sapphic characters. We have gay characters. Like, I wanted to make sure that I basically wanted the characters in this book to feel like the friend groups I have, in the sense that,
Mm.
it's not all white, it's not all straight, it's not all able bodied, and that was really important to me. So yeah, that was something when writing it, and once then back in the stage when I was figuring out who these characters were, back when I was outlining, I made a point of from the beginning.
I really appreciated that. I don't think I had ever seen so much of just like, yep, and that's how they are, in like a fantasy, and like, yep, that's it,
Yeah, I feel like it's just nice to just let them exist for that. Especially like, we have these queer characters where their entire plot isn't about their queerness. And even with like the disabled characters, their entire plot isn't around their disability. With Ronan, it's a little bit more with Clea, but they're both like in different places. And I feel like it's so fun to
Yeah.
just leave it at that, let that be. And because especially when you are part of any marginalized group, like that's just what your life is. And I feel like it's fun to just have it just
Yeah.
be their life. And also, I needed a break from homophobia and transphobia and stuff like that.
Understandable. Don't we all? So, if you had to like sell this book in like tropes.
Ooh, okay. So, I would say, like the knight at princess trope, except, and same with like princess and guard, except he's not her guard. I would say love triangle adjacent, strangers to friends to lovers, slow burn, tender romance, mythical beasts like animal sidekicks,
Mm-hmm.
and of course the like this can't happen again, but of course it does. And oh, and I can't forget, there's only one tent.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Oh, and wait,
Yes.
found family too. I can't forget the found family because I love that
Yeah,
group.
that was a good one. That was a good one. Oh, and I totally forgot to talk about this, and I just saw my notes, but you have your Irish pronunciations.
Yes.
So you gotta let me know what was that? What like? Why was that? It was very like prominent in the names of everything. So you were telling me that you had to like have a teacher for it and everything.
Yeah, so I actually had an Irish tutor. It was funny, I had the Irish tutor completely separate from the book just because I wanted to learn Irish. I wanted to learn Irish my entire life, but I didn't have many opportunities. So I'm
Oh,
Irish
that's cool.
American, both sides of my family. I'm Irish American on both sides of my family, and I grew up very close with my grandmother, and we really bonded over our love of Ireland, Irish history, Irish folklore, and she only knew a little bit of Irish. She would know like a couple of phrases here and there. And same with, in general, my family. There would only be like a couple of phrases that like we would hear and know. But I always wanted to learn it. So eventually I decided to take the initiative and get an Irish tutor, and I was learning it on my own. And then separately was writing this book. And as I was getting closer to realizing people would read this book, I realized that people would like help with the pronunciations, and I talked to my tutor, and we
Yeah.
had an entire session where it was just me sending her every single name and her pronouncing it and me writing it down phonetically so that way I can best help people understand it, because there's some names that I'm very familiar with and that I know very well. Like, you know, there's names like Neve, and Neve isn't an uncommon name, but I also recognize that there's a lot of people who may not know Irish history, Irish folklore, or any Irish person, and they may not know anyone named Neve. You know, they may not be like me and have family with these names. So I wanted to make sure that there was a pronunciation guide available online for people to get the help they need, because, especially too, because the Irish language is a language, and it is one that in general has gone through a lot historically,
Yeah. Hmm.
and I wanted to make sure it was treated with the respect it deserved. And I recognize that a lot of times when people see fantasy books, a lot of stuff in fantasy is taken from, in general, Celtic mythology and folklore and Irish mythology and folklore. And you'll often see people make jokes about how things are impossible to pronounce and things are weird. And I wanted to kind of get ahead of that and be like, no, it's not impossible. It's just another language, but here's how. Like the MH in Neve
Yeah.
is a V, and once you like learn a few rules, I promise it's not that hard.
I actually thought it was really fun. I had fun. I told you that I have the pronunciation guide like pulled up just in case, and I did have a lot of fun like doing my best. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like yeah, it is a language, and it's always
Mm-hmm.
fun to like try to say things as they should be. You
Yeah.
know, and as
And like,
somebody whose first language is not English, I understand. Like,
yeah,
I love it when people try to like
that
you know.
my mindset is, as long as anyone tries to pronounce the names and the words and they give it their best shot, and some of these aren't even real names and words, some of them are not real Irish, they're rooted in Irish but they're not actually Irish, so like as long as someone tries and gives it their best attempt, like that's great, that's all I want. And then I have the pronunciation guide, and I am more than willing to help anyone who needs further help, because I think it's just, I just wanted to make sure that people are helped as much as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and no one's left struggling with it, because I do recognize it's another language, but I also, it's a language
Yeah,
that's
it
very
was
important to
fun.
me.
Yeah, and you could I mean, obviously I'm not Irish, so like I can't speak for it, but as an outsider, I felt like you gave it a lot of love and care, you know.
Thank you. That was,
So,
I think, honestly, with so many things with this book, that I am so great at being anxious. The thing I think I am most anxious about is the Irish folklore and the nods to Irish culture and Irish folklore in it, and I want to make sure that that is handled well. Alongside also all of the representation. I think those are like the two main things I am most stressed about with this book. I wanted to
yeah.
really make sure it was done well.
I thought you did well.
Thank you.
Um, to end this section, because I told you that it kind of reminded me of Legally Blonde, at least like the beginning where somebody's telling her, "You're not good enough for this," and she's like, "Oh, let me do a whole ass montage right now." And going to Harvard, you know? So, because of that, if you could describe this book in a Legally Blonde quote,
I mean,
what would it be?
ooh. So like, there's an obvious one that I want to say. I'm trying to think if there's a more like a more niche one, but I think I have to go with the obvious one of
Yeah.
what, like, it's hard. I think that's kind of
That's the one
Cleo's
I was
like
thinking of.
What, like it's hard? Yeah, a game of
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, like it's hard.
Yeah, saving the realm.
Yes,
What, like it's
that's
hard?
exactly the one. I was like, okay, it has to be that. It has to be
Yeah,
that.
I was trying to be like, can I think of something more niche? But oddly enough, I've only seen Legally Blonde once. So
What? Really?
I've only seen the movie once. I've listened to
Oh,
the
did
musical.
you?
I've listened to the musical more, but I've
Okay.
only seen the movie once, so I don't
Okay.
have a lot of the
I mean,
quotes
the musical is
memorized.
catchy.
Yeah,
The
the musical's
musical
really
is catchy
catchy.
though. All right, let's move on to the next section. I call this my spill the ink section.
Ooh, fun.
Thank you. So let's talk about your writing. So we've mentioned before this is your debut. So I would love to know what is something that you have learned that you didn't realize, from being a debut author versus being just a more reader.
There's so much I've learned on like this entire journey. I honestly feel like every single day I'm learning new things, which is so funny because it's one, like you'll hear like people think they know everything, really just reveal how little they know. And
Yeah.
I felt like that was me on this journey. I always knew that I didn't know everything when it came to like writing craft. But I thought I had a handle on how things worked in the publishing industry, and boy was I wrong. Um, but it's been such a fun time learning these things, and it's because I had gone through the space where I was an influencer before, and I had interacted with publishers, and as I'm sure you know, you're like on one side of the publicity and marketing side of things. And it was very interesting to now be on that other side and see how decisions are made behind the scenes, and then also to see how many people are involved in the making of a book. I've always known it was a lot,
Yeah.
but it was one thing to know it's a lot, and then like to briefly hear about some of the people who did things, and you're like, I don't even know that person, and they did all this amazing stuff. It's so incredible to see all of the talent and hard work that comes together to create a book. It's fascinating.
And in your own writing, have you felt like, so I know you're working on something else also currently, and we'll get to that later, but like, do you already find a difference in your own writing style or anything from when you were writing this book to the one you're writing now?
Definitely. I feel like as you write, you're constantly learning. Every single new draft of The Princess Knight, I learned something new, and every single note from one of my editors, I learned something new, and it is really, there's so many different skills that I feel like I've developed and gotten better in, and there's so many different ways, especially as I go on with like new projects, how I'm approaching them, taking in everything I know, taking in everything that I've talked about with editors, every changes I've made to The Princess Knight, and just in the future of like, okay, I want to avoid making those changes again. Let's like go from the start, taking all this knowledge, and there's been so much that I've learned.
Did you keep the same planning though? Like, do you plan the same?
I plan pretty much the same. Actually, I planned a little bit more for my current work in progress. But to be fair, I plan to an unhinged amount now.
Oh.
No, like to the point where I was like talking with some of my friends where we do writing sprints together, and I was like looking at the length of this outline I was working on, and I'm like, this is a lot. It's 9,000 words.
For your outline?
For the outline!
Oh my god!
That is 1/10 of a book. And yeah, that was just the outline, and it was really funny because then I did that, started writing, and I was like, oh wait, this side character actually wants to be a point of view character, so now I have to rework it. So I ended up having to rework the 9,000 word outline.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, so I've always been an outliner, and
Yeah.
I think honestly this just made me more of an outliner. Like I just double down on it, like, because with The Princess Knight, I had like an entire spreadsheet where I was figuring out what I wanted to do, where I wanted certain beats to go, and the journey I wanted the characters to be on, and what was happening, like, that they weren't seeing behind the scenes. And I was learning throughout the process, I'm like, oh, I need to actually pay more attention to, like, these aspects with the timeline and this stuff. Like, I didn't go into it enough in my outline, and that's what led to me doing, like, that was some things I had to adjust and edit. So then, with this new book, I'm just like, I'm gonna pay attention to all of these tiny details.
Yeah.
To a degree, I really don't need to. Like, I definitely am overcorrecting, and I'm sure I'll pay for that later.
I mean, at this point, you're just gonna do, like, an epic world building. Like, you're just gonna be, like, George R. R. Martin or something.
It's so funny. Just, like, in this book, I'm just like, oh, I know so much about this world that's never going to be put in there. But to be fair, that happened with the Princess Knight too. There was
Yeah.
so much about that world that will never see the light of day. I've written an entire short story just about random, like, just about the dogs. I wrote a short story just about the dogs, just to figure out what's going on with them.
Yeah. I mean, you could always do like a special.
Who knows? Maybe one day. I feel like as I was writing that, I was like, I should write more about them. Actually, they're fun. But I don't have any plans to at the moment.
No,
Just say that now.
Yeah, I know. People are gonna be like, but like, where is it? Like,
I actually wrote that because I was doing occupational therapy for my pain, and
yeah.
I had to relearn how to write because the way I wrote was causing a lot of pain for me because I have hypermobile joints. And so they would have me fill an entire page in occupational therapy. They first had me like trace letters like I was in kindergarten to like relearn my grip, and then I would have to have like one of those little like grips, but like a really big one
Yeah.
on an oversized pencil to relearn how to write. And I still have to use that sometimes if I'm handwriting a lot. But so as I was doing that, I had to fill a whole page and they didn't tell me what to write. So I started that short story, and every single session I would go twice a week and I would write a new page of the short story, and we would have it numbered
What?
and they would save it in a little file.
That is so cool, though.
So there are
I
people
mean,
who have read
not
this
cool
short
that you
story.
have to learn. Not cool
I
that you
think
have to
it's
like
kind of funny.
relearn. But...
I found it very entertaining.
Okay, good. I was like, wait, that sounded like, oh, cool.
I like to have a sense of humor about these things. I found
Okay,
it a
good.
little bit
I was like,
hilarious.
hold on.
I was like, oh, here I am with my little kindergarten worksheets.
Yes.
The thing is, it helped. It worked. But I'm still struggling. I'm still not good at it yet. But yeah, no. So my occupational therapist has read this short story, at least what I've written of it.
That's really cool.
No one else has though.
Yet.
Who knows?
Yet.
I don't even think my editor or my agent know it exists, actually.
Well, they'll know now. No,
Here we go. This is the
I'll
news.
send them the interview and be like, just so you know, go to minute 43.
Just call me out. My secret project.
Yes. And as far as like your plan, so you're a massive like world builder, like outliner. There you go. So does that mean, do you edit as you go for your writing, or do you write and then go back?
So for the Princess Knight, I wrote and I went back. So I wrote the entire first draft. I did NaNoWriMo at the time because this was 2018 when I wrote it. So but I started it a month early because I knew I wanted the book to be 90,000 words. So I knew I wanted to write 50,000 of it during NaNoWriMo, but I started a little bit earlier in October to get the first 40,000 done. And I ended up actually not even getting the first 40,000 done then. I think I only got like 30 something thousand. But the bulk of it was written in NaNoWriMo, where you should not be editing as you write, because you have to hit a certain word goal. Which is also why that zero draft, like that first draft, I don't like to consider the first draft because it was such a mess.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
That's where I am now.
But once I got back to it, I was happy I had something to work with. And like I completely overhauled it for the next draft. I think I changed literally every single thing about it except for like maybe 3 scenes. Like I changed the point of view. I also changed it from first person to third person. I changed it from present tense to past tense, I believe. And yeah, Ronan got his point of view and like the entire plot. There was some core beats stayed the same, but a lot changed as well. Yeah. It was very different. So that has changed a little bit in my current work in progress, where I'm letting myself edit a little bit, but that's solely because I have a friend who has volunteered to read every chapter as I finish it, and I am scared of letting anyone read my zero draft.
Yes, I understand that completely. It's like, no, you don't understand. You're still trying to figure out what the heck is happening.
Exactly. Well, I had to go to this friend and I'm just like, hey, just so you know, like, this entire thing, we're adding this plot point, and just pretend that it's already there. I'll change it in the previous chapters, but just pretend I did that.
You made just like a bunch of random like asterisk notes, like as earlier.
I have a whole bunch of like insert name of book here, like.
Go back to this. Or like, should this happen instead? Question
Yeah.
mark.
I'll sometimes like leave notes. So like I actually technically I have two friends who are reading it right now, and I'll like have notes with them, just like I don't know if this works, but we're doing it.
Yes, yes. I understand. I mean, sometimes because if you keep trying to fit everything in there, you're literally never gonna move forward.
Exactly. Like it
Yeah,
took me like 2 months for a while because I was trying to do it as I was writing, and I was just not moving forward, and I wasn't
yeah,
getting anywhere, and so I had to just be like, we're just bulldozing right through the rest.
yeah.
But there's going to be some weird notes for you to just be aware that these changes happened.
Um, and actually, I want to go back also to the fact that you added Ronan's POV. That is so interesting to me because, what in your first draft made you be like, actually, his POV needs to be in there?
So there was a couple things. First, it felt like something was missing. It felt like something was off. There was a lot of it that just felt hollow to me.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it was just missing a crucial part of it. It didn't feel right, which was bothering me for a while, and I had no idea what needed to be added, what needed to be fixed. And I was also then looking at some other issues I was noticing it having, specifically Ronan in the original third act kind of just like disappeared for a bit. He just disappeared.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, if you look at the third act, like the final act now, you can maybe see a reason for why he would disappear at certain points. But in that original draft, there wasn't even that. Like,
Yeah.
he just kind of, there were other things Clea had to deal with, and he just kind of disappeared, and I needed to find a way to really bring him back into the story. But also, I realized that the stuff that he would be doing in that point, Clea wouldn't be seeing.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't know everything that's going on in his mind then. And then so that was one reason that I was like, maybe I should consider adding his point of view. It could, help out with that. And then it was also the fact of, once I considered that, I decided to do a little writing exercise where I just wrote from Ronan's point of view, writing his backstory, and created a completely new backstory for him. And I was like, wait, this changes things. He had somewhat of a similar backstory, but certain areas were very different. And I mean, in particular, his pain was a new thing then. And I was like, this changes a lot. And no, this is equally his story as it is Clea's. And that's when I realized I'm like, I need to rework this entire book. He needs to be added from the start. Like, it's very important that his story gets told as well.
That's so crazy, and it's crazy for me to hear you say that because in my current one, I'm like, I keep thinking like, does this need that? I don't know why, but I feel like it.
Yeah, no, I feel like I had a similar thing where I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this or what it would mean, but my advice is just play around with that a bit. You'll never know what you might stumble on. It may mean a lot of work, unfortunately, but it'll be worth it in the end.
Hopefully. One day. I also would love to know, have you learned anything about yourself as a writer?
Ooh, okay. Again, I feel like I've been learning so much during this journey. Like, I've learned just as a person, I need routines and I need structure. To be fair, I've also learned to maybe be kinder with myself with those routines and structure. My therapist doesn't approve of some of the ones I give myself. It's very entertaining. It's been kind of a running joke between my therapist, my friends, and my family about how one of the big core themes of the novel is regarding, like, knowing when to push yourself and when not, and accepting your limits and knowing that's okay. And I have not internalized that at all.
What boundaries?
I literally had, like, at one point, I was so stressed out about stuff, and my family sat me down. They're like, it needs to be okay that you can't do everything. And I'm just like, this is what I'm acting like Ronan.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm just like, this is not fair. You can't do the lessons that I put in my own book against me.
Yeah.
But I did learn that I needed some routine, and then also to be nicer to myself with the routine. I definitely had some unhealthy habits when it came to work. I am someone who throws myself into my work wholeheartedly, and I won't stop until I feel like it's done enough, no matter what that means for my body or my mental well-being. And I had to learn to be nicer about that, which again, very ironic.
It might have been your subconscious being like, girl.
It was, yeah. It was really my subconscious trying to teach me a lesson that I did not learn. But yeah, so that was something I learned about myself just in general as a person and in particular with writing. And then when it came to actual like writing craft, I learned so much about craft, but I also learned that like as a writer that there are certain things that help me feel more inspired, that help me really get into the writing mode more. Like I need to have a playlist for what I'm working on and I need to only listen to that playlist when I'm working, and that immediately jumps me into the characters' heads. I have playlists for all of the major characters of The Princess Knight. So that way if it's a scene with them featured, I would be listening to that and be like, okay, this is what Donal's thinking. Or
Yeah.
like if I'm doing a big emotional moment for Ronan, I'm like, okay, we need to listen to the Ronan playlist and just listen to that nonstop as I try to figure this out. And stuff like that really helped me, and I'm taking with me into these next stages.
I saw your playlist. I saw a lot of. I saw a lot of T Swift and
Of
Olivia
course.
Rodrigo. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Clea,
yeah,
Clea would be such a Swiftie. Like,
yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Like, absolutely. I feel like she would be different albums, like at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah.
I
No, I
that's a
definitely.
fun question. What? What's her? What do you think? Is her T Swift arc?
I I put so much thought into this.
Okay.
Um, I think Clea has definitely like she goes through a bit of kind of your folklore, Evermore, and Midnights a bit are all kind of there with her for a while. But I honestly think this book for Clea is Reputation,
I'm
and
a
I think there's
Reputation girly. I am.
same
Hmm.
same. This book is such Reputation because I'm also very team Reputation as a love album, and Clea has a bit of the like she has something to prove. She,
Yeah.
is feeling a little spiteful, more than a
Yeah.
little spiteful, and
Rightfully so.
rightfully so. She has reason,
Rightfully so. Yeah.
but then it's also about her coming to love herself and find this acceptance outside of other people's views on her, and that is so Reputation, and like finding love with someone else who doesn't care what other people think, so
Yeah.
Reputation.
Yeah.
So I think this is very much, despite the aesthetics not being Reputation at all, like
The
aesthetics
aesthetics are
wise,
lover,
the
but
aesthetics are so Lover, and it's so funny too because I used to in my brain always think that Clea was Lover, and I'm like, but she
yeah.
it was only until like the past couple of years I'm like, no, she's Reputation, she's not Lover.
Yeah.
She dresses
She's
Lover,
yes. She's very look what you made me do.
yes,
And they say I did something bad.
yep,
Yeah.
and her and Ronan are very delicate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah.
I literally was noticing that I frequently use words like delicate or fragile when describing their relationship, and I was just like, Taylor Swift reference. Didn't mean it to be,
Yeah.
but it is now.
It is now. It's actually all just a T Swift fan fiction.
Everything is, if you look hard enough.
All right, I want to move to my very last section. This is my kind of more miscellaneous section, and I call it Talk Nerd Tea to Me.
Fun.
Thank you. I want to start off with a really quick rapid fire. Jeez, I forgot the word. Really quick rapid fire.
I feel that.
Who was the easiest POV to write?
Depends on my mental state. So I think honestly Ronan, because if I was feeling depressed, and I deal with depression a lot, Clea was so hard to write because she is painfully optimistic sometimes, and it was so hard for me to get into that headspace occasionally. So I think Ronan was a little bit easier occasionally, but sometimes I had more fun. Sometimes it was, this is not rapid fire at all. I'm so bad at answering things rapid fire. But sometimes, like, if I was in a really good mood, it was a little bit easier to write Clea. So it depends on the state, but usually Ronan.
So then hardest was Clea. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Who was
100%.
the character that surprised you the most and how they ended up? Or like how you ended up presenting them into the story?
Donal. I think
Mm.
Donal is a character that went through so many iterations and so many versions, and he had been so many things. And I wanted to hate him at first, and now unfortunately I love him. So Donal is someone who I think has changed across over the drafts and kept surprising me in every single version. And now he's kind of a thrill to write because I
Yeah.
never know what he's gonna do.
I found it very amazing how he wasn't just like the, oh, he's just like meanie, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I found it great that he was so multifaceted. Like,
Mm-hmm. Like, he's a jerk, but he has his reasons, and he's also just an idiot. And, like, he's a character that, like, I enjoy clowning on him a bit. Um,
yeah.
but, like,
Yes, he
he's
was
got
great.
his own stuff.
Yes, he was fantastic. Who is the character that you are like the most?
I hop between Clea and Ronan. It really depends.
Mm.
I 100% have Clea's like masking, people pleasing nature, but as I've explained a lot, I also have Ronan's like uh some of his issues as well. So I think it honestly depends on my mood and where I am with my mental health. If I'm in a good place, I'm a Clea. If I'm in a bad place, I'm a Ronan.
I mean, valid. Valid. Who is the character you would like to be like the most?
Ooh, I think honestly maybe Sarai. I
Hmm.
think she is the most mentally well adjusted out of the group. And she has her ambitions, she has her wants, and she knows what they are, and she knows herself very well. And I would definitely like to be Sarai out of everyone.
Would you, if you had to live in this world, would you join the the academy?
No,
No.
no, not at all. You couldn't pay me to go there. And it's not even normally I'd be like from the point of view of like, yeah, well, I might die. And like, to be fair, there's some dangerous things at the academy, but like, it's not that dangerous. It's just like,
Mm.
I would not do well.
No, me either.
I would be awful at it. I think honestly, if I was in this world, I would probably join the Path of the Tree, the religious order,
Hmm. Yeah.
because I would just love to live in like cool places and channel some magic and
Yeah.
vibe and stick to my books and nature.
Yeah.
That would be my goal.
I would probably want to be in the court, in Clea's court, just so I can
I
enjoy
mean, that's
the
the
part.
place to be. Honestly, if you want a good life, you want to be in the Allandorn court. You want to be nobility there.
Exactly. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, they're always enjoying their life, and I was like, oh no.
So sad. Everyone's just bitter because they're jealous, honestly.
Yeah. I was like, oh, how terrible. um, that's so funny. All right, so that was a fun little rapid fire there.
I love it.
I want to know if you have gotten any fun advice from any other authors this year.
Ooh. I definitely have gotten advice. Actually, a recent piece of advice my friend gave me that I am working on doing is writing down all of the things as they're happening with the publication journey. Like, to really like be in the moment, to remember the good moments, because I think especially with publishing it can be very stressful at times too, because for someone who doesn't like to be perceived, it's a job where you're being perceived a lot.
Yeah.
And you can, I know I at least can get very in my head around everything. And yet, I am such an anxious person. Like, I am anxious about everything. I worked in a library for 4 years and I was anxious about that. And that was probably like one of the coziest jobs. So I can find a way to be anxious about things. And then you have this job like that is very, very public, and I have so much social anxiety and I have agoraphobia. Like, that's a lot. So I really love that advice of just writing down these big good things as they're happening. And so that way you can look back and see all these things that happen. Or when you're having a moment and you're feeling really awful about yourself or about your career, because the thing with publishing is you're never going to feel really great because it's
Yeah.
writing is a career of rejection. You're going to be rejected all the time. Things aren't going to go right for you 100% of the time. So to be able to have that to look back on, to remember the times things did go well, and remember the amazing things you got to check off and do, I think that has been helpful for me so far, and I've only started doing it very recently, and I just imagine it's going to be very helpful in the future.
Yeah. What is some, if you don't mind me asking, if it's not too private, what's one thing that you've written that you're like, that you like, this
So
was a good one?
there's been like so many different things. So I will write down a lot of times if I get a message. One thing that stood out to me was the first time I got a message from someone who had read the book, who was autistic, and it meant a lot to them to see Clea, and that moved me so much. So that was one of the first things I wrote down. So I've written down stuff like that, messages from readers who have really enjoyed the book, where it's helped them either in some way or it just brightened their day a little bit, really meant a lot. I also have written down things like when an author I love has blurbed the book. That's like a really neat thing. Or like now, I'm just, hey, later, since I just got these editions in, I'm gonna be writing in today that I got my Lost Library editions in. Like, that's wild. That's so exciting. So it's all those kind of stuff. And then like slight things, like stuff that may not seem big, and I kind of joke because I'm good friends with my publicist Jess. We've been friends for years before I ever even sold my book, and it was the best coincidence in the world that I'm getting to work with her on this book. But like she'll sometimes like send me things for like approval of just like, oh, here's like the influencer, like the PR press release thing of, you know, those papers that go with the book, and I've received those so many times as an influencer, and I was like, oh my god, it's so weird to actually see it for my own book, and that 100% had to be written down in there because that was just so surreal.
Yeah, that sounds so surreal. I've gotten so many of those as well. Like, so I can't imagine them
Yeah.
being like, oh wait, my turn? Like,
Yeah, it's like, it's something that when I sold the book, it wasn't the first thing I thought of for like oh, this is the thing that's gonna happen. So then when it happened, I was like, oh my god, yeah, that's so weird. It's so exciting.
yeah, I love that. I love that. I think that's fantastic advice that somebody told you to like wrote down just like the little moments and big moments.
Yeah, no. So that was Sophie Clark who told me that, who has just been an amazing friend during this journey.
I love that. Shifting like hard left or right, whatever. Shifting 180. um, and this is more because we're like in that sense. We both have just very full libraries. And out of pure curiosity, just for my sake, how do you organize yours?
I'm so glad you asked because I care about this way too much. So
Okay.
mine are organized by genre. They're genre slash category. So the shelf behind me is fantasy. Over to the side
Okay.
is special edition, and then in the special editions I have it broken up into genre. And then I have so I have it all split by genre, and then within genres I have other sub-organization methods, where I have kind of, if I've read it versus like TBR, and kind of like a preference where like the ones that I like fill me with joy every time I see them are directly at eye level, and then kind of moving out. So like the ones I've read are in the center, moving out to the ones I haven't read, like slowly like that, so that way I can stare directly at them all the time.
Yeah.
And then within that, I also have it organized by height. So I try to
Oh,
keep
that's
books of the
important,
same
yeah.
height together. Yeah. And then I have a couple of shelves organized by color. Specifically, I try to keep it with ones that don't, like with genres that don't have series, because it does hurt
Yeah.
me to separate series.
Yeah, like the standalones and like all that stuff. Yeah, like the classics.
Yeah, so that's my main organization method, but I'm going to be changing it because I'm going to have to put finished copies of my book on my shelf, so I'm going to have to reorganize. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
Yeah, I feel like you need a whole shelf where like it's just all your books like that. Just like
That would be so cool, but so scary. No, so fun, honestly. Just like a wall of pink. It would be amazing.
yeah. I mean, that's the best.
But I'm curious, how do you
I don't
organize
know.
your shelves?
Oh, well, okay. So mine it's kind of changed a little bit. So prior to me living in a space, I never lived in a place where I had room, nor did I have the money to buy books.
Yeah.
So when I first got all the bookshelves, I didn't have enough books. So it used to go trinket books, trinkets books, trinkets books, you know, like that. Just to kind of make it seem like it was fuller than what it actually was.
I love that, though. That's
but-
pretty.
Thank you. It was nice. And then I also used to push all my books forward, obviously, to make it again look way fuller. And I have it alphabetical order by the author's last name.
Nice.
But now I don't have. Now I need to figure out because I ran out of. We talked about this. I see you have books on your floor. I have books on my floor. You just can't see them. And I would love to just have. First, I need to figure out like where to put all these books. Also, my TBR. It used to be that I didn't own one book that I hadn't read, and now that is no longer the case.
Yeah.
I
Been
don't know
there.
what to do. I don't know what to do. It's a mess, and some books are on top of each other. I'm like, oh my god.
It's on my shelf too. I actually have layers. There are books behind
Yeah,
books.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
I
have
get it.
books like I'll like have them. I'll have them all pretty, and then all of a sudden it'll be like, but this is in front, and then this is on top, and then this is behind, and this is in like that, and this is to the side, and you're like, oh god. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then the worst part
I
is
get it.
my triplets didn't go anywhere. They're still here. They just don't have the room. So yeah, that's why you see like I don't know if you can kind of see like this is on top of that, this is on top of this, like yeah,
Listen, honestly, being like a book collector and having a bunch of books is really just like constantly trying. It's constantly dealing with a puzzle, and you're constantly just moving the pieces around to try to get it all to fit.
uh, yeah, yeah. I might, because I want to get those floating bookshelves to put on top of like the windowsill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they can like wrap around, and I'm thinking maybe like I would do I don't know like the special editions or something like there. I don't
That would be pretty. That would be really pretty.
should I get a TBR pile? But then that's like half the bookshelf at this point.
I have a prioritized TBR shelf, which
Yes.
is just like the like 20 books that are the most urgent for me to read.
Yeah.
But the irony is that I never pick from there, and I
Yeah.
just picked whatever I bought most recently.
Well, the worst part is that you're like, this is, or I have books that I'm like, I'll be reading a series, and I'm like, I love this series. It's my favorite series. When the next book comes out, it's the first thing I read. And then something happens, and then it'll be like 3 years later, and I'll be like, I still haven't read that priority book.
Yep. Oh, I do
Still
that
there.
all the time. I do that
All
all
the
the time.
And now that I do interviews and like I have my book club, obviously those move
Yeah.
ahead.
You got a lot to read.
Yeah. Oh god. Well, it's a mess, but it's there. Really quickly, we're almost done because I thought it'd be kind of fun. You made a character quiz, and I thought it'd be kind of fun if we took it together.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cute.
Yeah? Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let me find it.
I've been like waiting to take it.
Okay. Oh, I had so much fun making this quiz too.
It's in your
Um,
it's in your website if you need it.
That's smart. I should have thought to look at my own website.
Yeah.
Okay, I found it.
You found it? Okay, cool. Okay. So,
Okay, we
let's
got
start
it.
together. We're taking the Princess Knight character quiz on BuzzFeed. Yes. Oh my goodness. Exactly. All right. So, you want to read the first question?
Sure, so the first object. I messed it up already. The first question. The first question is pick an object, and the options are a flower, a crown, a horror novel, a glowing crystal, a sword, and the antidote.
Hmm.
I know my answer.
Really? What is it?
Yeah, I'm going with the sword because I love its uses for anything pointy.
Yeah, well, see, I love a sword, and I have a sword for decoration, but I feel like I'm like in between the crown or a glowing crystal.
Oh, that is a good.
I'm gonna go for the crystal because it's pink and it's pretty.
Pink is the theme
Yes,
today.
for real.
So, perfect. Okay, pick a song. The options are Mirrorball by Taylor Swift,
Okay.
I, Me, Myself by Will Wood, A Bug's Life by Chase Petra, Rat by Penelope Scott, You're Gonna Go Far by Noah Kahn, Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan, I Can't Decide by Scissor Sisters, or Making the Bed by Olivia Rodrigo.
Pink Pony Club.
Good answer. I keep changing because these are all songs I love because this quiz was very self-indulgent. So I think I'll probably go with A Bug's Life by Chase Petra.
Okay.
I think that'll be mine.
Okay.
What do you want most in the world? Love, approval, respect and honor, safety, my dream career, and friendship. Yeah, this is a tough one.
I don't know because it depends. Because like I'm like love, but then I'm like but then I'll be bitter if my dream career doesn't happen. You know what I mean? But then I'll be like dream career, but I'm like, but okay, but that's no fun if I don't have anyone that I love to share it with.
Yeah,
You know?
it's tough. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to remember what I normally say for this one,
Yeah.
because I've taken this quiz before. I took it to test
Yeah.
it. I, it's hard.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. So because I'm lucky enough that I have like love, right? You know, I have like friends, I have family, I have a very loving partner that I've been with for 8+ years. I'm gonna pick dream career because that's the thing that hasn't happened yet.
I think that's a good
Yeah.
answer. I feel like I'd probably go with friendship. Like if I'm being really honest with myself, it's probably approval, but I'm still in denial. So,
Well, in my head, approval will come with my.
exactly. Yeah. All right. Speaking of, what is your dream job?
Okay.
That's the next question. A fashion designer, I love being creative and expressing myself. A knight, I want to protect those I love and fight with honor. Politics, I want to make the world better or worse. Farmer, whether it's food or flowers, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I've never put too much thought into it, I've always just gone down the path laid in front of me, or I don't dream of labor.
I mean, okay, hold on. The fun answer would be like, I don't dream of labor because like I'm still waiting for my parents to tell me like it was all a test and we're actually secretly billionaires. You know what I mean?
God, I wish.
So like I've never dreamed of being a fashion designer, but that's the closest thing, like creativity in general is like I want to write and I want to act. So that's like that's like the closest one. 'Cause, like,
I feel like that makes sense. That's why I purposely, like, with these I tried to give like also broad versions of it, so that way, because some of them are niche.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think I would probably, part of me is I don't dream of labor.
Yeah.
However, outside of I don't dream of labor, it'd probably be fashion designer as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, pick a fictional character. Faith Lahane from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dmitry Belikov from Vampire Academy, Altair from We Hunt the Flame, Nikolai Lantsov from King of Stars, Castiel from Supernatural, Glinda from Wicked, Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, and Erica from Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper.
This is a good one. Toothless.
Nice. Who would I pick from that? I'd probably pick Nikolai from King of Stars, I think. I don't know. It could be Dimitri from Vampire Academy.
That's a good character.
I'm very obsessed. What's your favorite color? Pink, green, red, purple, gold, or blue?
Oh my god, I'm a pink and purple girly.
You have to choose between your favorites.
Okay. You know what? Today's a pink day. I'm wearing pink. I have a pink headband. My water bottle is pink. My
Nice.
cup is pink. Like,
Amazing.
yeah, I think pink. Let's pink.
You're legally obligated.
Yeah, I'm next to me is my Kindle. It's pink.
See, I have to go with green. Like, literally my entire desk setup is green. Like, my keyboard, everything is green.
Oh, you have the fun gummy keyboard.
Yes.
Oh, I love that little
so
creamy
much.
keyboard. I love that. I want one so bad.
It's amazing.
I want
Best purchase
Really?
ever. Yeah. Okay, number 7. What's your worst fear? Embarrassing myself? Actually acting on my feelings? Failure? Being ordinary? Disappointing people? Betraying my own values? Or I fear nothing?
I wish I fear nothing.
Same.
Okay, so this is probably between failure and disappointing people. I'm a huge people pleaser, mind you. This book spoke to me in that regard. Let's go with failure.
That is my answer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason I wrote this book.
Well, there's a reason I haven't written my book.
There's a reason the book I'm currently working on is taking me so long.
9,000 in like words and outline.
Yeah, I didn't outline 9,000 words, but actually putting them to paper, much different.
Yes.
All right. Pick a musical.
Ooh.
Legally Blonde, Wicked, Hadestown, Les Mis, Little Shop of Horrors, Kinky Boots, or Anastasia.
Okay, so I'm in between two. So I'm in between Hadestown because I just bought tickets for it. So I'm finally going to be able to see it in November, the week of my birthday.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so really
so
excited
jealous.
about that. So Hadestown is in my head currently. But Anastasia, one of the songs actually inspired part of my book.
Which song?
The Back to December. Not Back to December, that's Taylor Swift,
Nice.
first of all.
Yeah, I knew which one you meant though. Once Upon a December. I love though that I didn't say like that's not the name. I was like, yeah, no, Back to December from Anastasia.
Yeah, so that part inspired a little bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
that's fun.
let's do Anastasia.
Nice. So those two are also probably my favorites on the list, but also I'm in a huge Wicked brain rot right
yeah.
now. I'm very obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But I think I still have to go Hadestown. Hadestown is the love of my life. I've seen it twice on Broadway, and I need to see it more.
I'm so excited.
I'm obsessed.
I'm so excited.
It's so good.
I mean,
It's so good. I am excited for you.
yeah, like if we were taking this quiz closer to November, it'd probably be Hadestown. Yeah.
It's so, oh my god, yeah. All right, what's your favorite hobby? Baking, being annoying, swimming, reading, gardening, arguing with people on the internet, sewing, or hobbies, what are those?
I mean, low-key being annoying, but but I think reading. I mean, that's yeah.
Yeah, I like, whenever I want to hit this, I'm just like, I don't want to say reading, but like, it
But it
is.
is. It's like, oh, I'm like, we're like the cliche. Like,
Yeah, I'm torn between like reading or hobbies, what are those, but
no, I have actually too
'Cause I
many
recent-
hobbies. Like, way too many.
that's like I thought I had too many, but then I had learned as my therapist assigned to me, she's like, you're not allowed to do anything related to work 1 day a week. You have to spend an entire day with nothing that is remotely related to what you do for work. And I was like, then I have nothing. Like so I've been on a quest of the past few months. That's why I wanted to learn how to sew.
Yeah.
But then I made it about work somehow. I still made it about work.
I
But
have one. I've started archery.
that's so
Thank
cool.
you.
That's
Yes.
so fun.
Yes.
Oh my god. That like I did archery at the Ren Fair and I failed.
Oh, I mean,
Um,
it's so much fun. It's a lot of fun.
it's-
And like,
that's so
you can
cool.
pick what kind of bow you use, but I'm like the wooden one. Duh. Like,
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Like,
All right. Your friend is crying. What do? Ask them what's wrong and offer to listen. Leave and hope they didn't see me. Tell them to shut up or you'll give them something to cry about. Give them a hug. Try to distract them. Solve their problems for them so they don't need to cry anymore.
oh man, I'm somebody who both listens, but I can't help but give advice. Like, I can't help it. It's like I'm like, I know you didn't ask for it, but like, let me solve your life for you real quick.
I do that a lot too.
So like, I mean, like at first I listen, and then I'm like, here's your unsolicited advice. So I'll probably go with the advice.
Go with the advice. Yeah, I do the same thing, but I think I probably listen slightly more because sometimes I don't do the advice because I get tired.
Oh yeah.
All right, next question. Pick an animal. Otter, snake, dog, frog, tiger, or bird?
Bird.
Ooh,
Bird.
That's a fun
Yeah,
one.
my favorite animal ever is an owl, so like, bird.
Oh, yeah. I would have to go with snake. I have a pet snake. I love snakes.
Love that.
Yes.
Love that.
His name is... So, technically his name is Loki. However, his, like, government name, like, his full name is Jake from Snake Farm.
I love that.
I love him so much. He helped me write this book when I would be like writing and editing. He would like sit in his enclosure and stare at me, and we just vibe together. Also, he is kind of pink, so fits the
Meant
vibe.
to
He's like
be.
an orangey pink.
Meant to be.
Yeah. Okay. What word describes you? Intimidating, loyal, cunning, wise, quiet, kind, outgoing, supportive, or anxious?
Anxious, but I don't want that one. um, I'm going to go with kind. Yeah.
I think also just based on the few times we've talked, I think that fits for you.
Thank you.
I'd probably go with anxious for myself. All right. Pick a book. This Woven Kingdom, The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Secret History, The Wolf and the Woodsman, Sing Me to Sleep, An Ember in the Ashes, Love Theoretically, or Defy the Night.
Oh, by Bridget Kemmer.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I love her. She's the first author that ever answered my, I loved your book.
Aww.
Yeah. So I'm gonna...
She's so nice.
She's so nice.
I adore her.
I interviewed her. She's been one of my guests before, and she's so sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Defy the Night. I love that book.
All right, and then let's see.
Wait, what was yours?
Give us your answer.
What was yours?
Oh yeah, I should probably say mine. This is like choosing between favorite children. But once again, I must pick. Probably An Ember in the Ashes.
Oh.
I think An Ember in the Ashes. I named my dog after that series.
Really?
Yeah. So I think I legally have to. Okay, for some reason it's not giving us the result, so let me just make sure I didn't miss a question. Okay, it didn't register one of the clips.
Oh,
okay, you got your answer. You are Clea.
Stop it. I'm the main character.
You're the main character. All right, and then this is what it
Okay.
says about you. The Princess of Allendor, Clea spent her whole life trying to be who everyone wants her to be. How does it feel being a burnt-out people-pleaser who changes personality so often you don't know who you are anymore? You are so determined to be liked and so deeply insecure that you don't even believe people when they say they do care about you. I gotta say, writing this and reading it to someone is a very different thing.
Excuse me, I need to go call my therapist.
On the bright side, you're kind and determined, sometimes to the point of being stubborn, and you're always willing to help others, not to mention you're very fashionable.
Thank you. Damn, at least, give me the antidote, I don't know.
Yeah, that...
Apply some water to that burn real quick.
Yeah, no, I gotta say, writing those little things is very different than reading it to the person's face as they got that result. Okay, let's see what mine is. Okay,
my face is red.
What do I want most of... Okay, I think I said I want friendship most in the world. My dream job is I don't dream of labor. Character, do I go with Nikolai or Dmitri?
Ooh. Dimitri, but you said Nikolai earlier, so...
Nikolai was my first instinct, but I also have such a Vampire Academy hyperfixation, but I also have such a Grishaverse hyperfixation. Okay, we're gonna go with Nikolai. Favorite color is green. What's your worst fear? I said failure. Pick a musical, Hadestown. What's your favorite hobby? We're gonna go with hobbies, what are those, in honor of the fact that I realize I don't have hobbies. Your friend is crying, what do you do? I'm gonna listen. Snake is my favorite animal. Wait, why is it? Okay, it accidentally selected two. What word best describes you? I said anxious. Book, An Ember in the Ashes. I got Ronan.
Oh my...
I get him every...
What?
I get him every time I take this quiz, no matter what I change my answers to. So, Ronan's is the captain of Prince Donald's Guard and one of Stalker's best warriors. Wow, you need a hug, and maybe a nap. How does it feel to be someone who puts all their self-worth into how productive they can be? You're so busy taking care of everyone else, you forget to take care of yourself. Please be kind to yourself and give yourself a break when you need it. God knows you don't do that enough. You're a loyal and hardworking person, but as mentioned above, occasionally to a fault, who is focused on your goals while also caring deeply for those around you.
My God. You're like, stab.
Just, you gotta give people things to talk about in therapy.
Yes, literally. I'm like, okay. Somebody peeked at my journal. Like, what?
But, to be fair, I wrote all all of these characters, so these are really just all critiques about myself.
Yeah. This is actually, you need to have your therapist do this with you.
That's a great idea. I know what I'm doing next session.
It's like, so I got Ronan again. What does this mean, therapist?
Please interpret this for me.
No, I love that. That was a good one. That was a good one. Okay, I love that we did that. Eventually, you know, after like 30 seconds.
We made it work. It happened.
Okay, I just have one more questions for you.
All right.
Okay, so I am doing this thing where I have the last author that I interview ask a question for my next author. So,
Okay.
the last author that I talked to is Elise Kova. She wrote the Arcana Academy, which is a dark academia story, and the magic is based on tarot cards, which is really interesting.
So fun.
So fun, and she's a hybrid, so all her previous books have been indie, and then this one is trad. So, this is the question that she had for you.
One of the things that I always look at as an author, as I work to improve my craft, is every book, I kind of pick something that I am going to try and focus on to level up my craft. So my question would be to whomever this author is, either in the book that you have written that you are promoting, what was the one thing that you really wanted to focus on in that particular book and why? For example, was it like the fight scenes or the romance or something like that? And then, or if maybe a debut might not have thought about something like that, what is the one thing you would want to focus on in your next book to level up your craft?
Ooh, that is a great question. So I think in The Princess Knight, one of the things I was focusing on the most was actually relating to a note my editor gave me in a very early version of it, where she had told me to not narrate around the story. There were a few moments where I would kind of just like avoid some great moments for character bonding and stuff like that, and I would kind of narrate around it. So that was something that was very key in my mind in this book. Through every version of edits, I was trying to really work hard on not narrating around the story and trying to really show all of the quiet moments too, you know, as long as they're relevant, and really making sure that they're shown as well. So that was something that I really kept in mind for this book. In my next book, because I feel like I want to kind of, because I also do like think of different things in each one. But there's a few different things I've been trying to focus on craft-wise. I think for me, it's been really working on character chemistry and having characters interact. In The Princess Knight, it was really great that these two characters are very similar and they get along fairly easily, and I wanted to challenge myself and have characters that don't get along as easily, and I wanted to play around with that and have them still have the chemistry, still have fun, and still have healthy relationship dynamics. So that was like my challenge craft-wise, to figure out how to keep that chemistry in there and also keep that healthiness and that support that I want, while still also having a lot of, you know, fun banter and chemistry and fun stuff like that. And like characters that are very different, but the same still. But yeah. So I think that's been one of my big focuses. As well as craft-wise, I've wanted to lean into genre tropes that I feel like in each book I kind of lean into genres that like a side genre that I like to play around with. In The Princess Knight, I play around a lot with rom-com archetypes and rom-com tropes, and that was something I went in with to begin with. And in my current work in progress, which may never see the light of day, I'm currently playing around with a lot of more like gothic and horror type stuff. So that's been my fun challenge for myself.
Yeah, I love that. You know who does that I recently read that I really like how she does gothic is Shelby Mahurin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love her books.
Specifically the Scarlet Veil, like the spin-off of Serpent and Dove. I recently finished the Shadow Bride, so it's kind of like in my head, like that like gothic vibe. She does it really well.
Yeah. I live for a fun gothic vibe.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah. Well, that was a great. I love your answer to that. But now it is your turn. What is your question for the next author? And I don't know who it is yet. So.
Okay. So this is so funny because I know you do this, and I thought to myself I should prepare something, and I should like really think ahead of time, and then I didn't. So regretting that now. You know what? Relating to our conversation, what is a lesson that your characters had to learn that you maybe haven't internalized yourself, or you had trouble internalizing yourself? That's something that you maybe still need to learn, or you're currently working on.
Yeah. And I know you've already answered this, but like, if you want to answer it kind of briefly again.
Yeah. So for me, it was definitely, it's in general about people pleasing and stuff like that, but especially with learning to accept yourself, limitations and all, and learning that it's okay to not push yourself and to show respect for your body and be kind to yourself. I still struggle with it, and maybe one day I'll learn.
Yeah.
I say as I'm shaking my head.
Goals.
Goals!
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love that. That was great. Thank you so much. Just before we leave, what is next? What can people look forward to from you?
So I technically don't have anything announced yet. But I mean, we've talked about how I'm working on new things. I have plenty of ideas, so hopefully there will be something else coming down the line. Hopefully I'll be able, who knows, but I don't have anything fancy I can say right now. But okay. I'm just working on things. There's stuff. That's
okay, good.
There's stuff. That's the official.
A quote from Cait. There's stuff.
There's stuff. Yeah, you can quote me on that. That's the title.
Love it. No, thank you so much. This has been such a great conversation. Thank you for being. The people that will watch or listen to this won't know how the technical difficulties. So,
trust me, I get it. And this was such a fun conversation. This was amazing. I had a great time.
Thank you. I'm so glad. I loved talking with you. And thank you so much. I really quickly also want to say thank you. That I mentioned it earlier. We met at the Y'all Fest. It was my first like official sort of influencer thing that I was invited to. It was for V. Schwab. And I was feeling very insecure and very shy, and you were very sweet. And I don't know if you remember, but I was like, we were talking to each other, and I was like, yeah, because I do more skits than like book reviews. I don't know if I have like the right to call myself to be in this space. I don't know if I belong in this space. And without hesitating, you immediately assured me that I belonged in that space, and so that stuck with me a lot. And so I just want to say thank you. That meant a lot to me that you said that, because you know you're somebody that I followed for a long time, and so it just meant a lot to hear that from you. So thank you.
Thank you. No, you do belong in this space. Like, I love your content, and I'm so glad that we got to meet at that party and we got to talk. That was just so fun.
Yeah.
Because like I've also like been in that situation when you're like at this party and you don't know anyone, and it can be like so awkward. So like I'm so glad I got to know you then, and I am so glad I've gotten to see your content ever since, because it's so fun.
Thank you. That means a lot. For everyone out there, this has been The Nerd Tea with Cait Jacobs, and go watch. Go read The Princess Knight. It's worth the read.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yay. Bye.
Bye.